By 2040, the Wisconsin Department of Health Services expects over 23% of La Crosse County's population to be 65 or older. Health officials believe this aging boom will include an increase in people living with dementia, which is why some community leaders are sounding the alarm now. News 19's Mike Biermeister is digging deeper into how this disease impacts families and why health leaders in our community are worried.
Over the next 3 days, you'll hear from 3 different families who have a loved one living with dementia and are at different stages of their journey. But before I dive into this 3-part series, I wanted to break down the definition of dementia and give you a visual understanding. Now, dementia describes a group of symptoms that can affect memory, thinking, and social abilities that can change your daily life. There are over 400 different types of dementia. Dr. Thomas Lofi over at Mayo Clinic Health System described it to me as a tree with different branches of the disease, but the biggest are Alzheimer's and vascular dementia, which are both considered progressive and irreversible. Risk factors you can't change include age, family history, and Down syndrome. Risk factors you can change are habits like smoking, heavy alcohol use, diet, exercise, and vitamin or nutritional deficiencies. Staying active and socially engaged can help prolong your life, and that's where we find one couple who have made this their cornerstone. They share their story to help combat one of the biggest issues we see when it comes to this disease, and that is the stigma surrounding it.
Teeing off, moving forward. That's just what Sharon and Chuck Zimmer do. Chuck is living with early onset Alzheimer's. He was diagnosed at the age of 60.
I remember crying at work and I'm like, oh my God, we have a terminal disease, but we don't know when it's going to happen. And that was really, really, really hard for me.
Since then, this Onalaska couple has been fighting to keep Chuck active.
We go with our cars.
Yesterday we took out for a drive on the back roads. We took the roof off and we just kind of cruised around.
Chuck is one of nearly 2,500 people living with a form of dementia in La Crosse County, and health officials expect that number to double by 2040.
The family or the spouse is picking up on some mild problems. So over the years, we're seeing a lot more mild cases, which is good because it's better to pick this up earlier than much later.
The harsh reality is that there is no cure for Alzheimer's disease and no proven medical reason for what causes it.
He'll be telling me a story and I'm thinking, yeah, I don't know about that. So it's kind of a hit and miss. And he has a hard time with me because I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. And he goes, yeah, you do. And he'll have to run and get something to show me, or he'll say, come here.
Sharing their experiences and struggles with Alzheimer's can be incredibly difficult for Sharon.
If somebody is diagnosed with cancer, you say, oh, my spouse has got this cancer, or my loved one's got this, or they talk openly about it. But when somebody gets Alzheimer's, there's like a shame about the disease. And I'm like, nobody caused Alzheimer's.
A way to break down that stigma? Education. And that's where Kelsey Flock comes into the picture.
Get yourself educated. There's a wealth of resources on the Aging and Disability Resource website, so checking out there. But if you know someone in your family who you think, maybe this isn't right, talk to them about it.
Flock has been working with people like Sharon and Chuck over the past 3 years, helping them feel a part of the community by connecting them to activities and resources.
We know brain health, physical activity, social engagement, all of those things are so important to maintain function, but yet we have the stigma that we kind of want to keep our person at home, save face, respect their dignity, but yet it almost kind of doesn't help the brain function.
There's a lot of stigma and we're uncomfortable with it because we don't know what to say. Oh, I'm really sorry you have a dementia diagnosis.
Sharon does everything she can as a caregiver and wife to keep Chuck active and engaged with other people. And other people have stepped up.
I got a bunch of guys. We got 15 in groups. So it's pretty nice to have that. That's one group, and then I got another group for
In the morning
back here. So.
Yep. And it's nice because when I'm working, I don't have to worry about Chuck. I know the guys are taking good care of him and they're watching him and everything.
A peace of mind important as they keep the ball rolling on this journey, not letting a bogey slow them down.
Since sharing their story first with us, Sharon and Chuck have received feedback from friends and even strangers willing to step up, which is why sharing your story with others can continue to break down that stigma. The couple plan to continue staying active and will travel to Colorado in the near future. For News 19, I'm Mike Biermeister.
And we have a list of resources posted on our website, including a link for businesses and organizations to learn how to become more accommodating to those living with dementia.